Live.
It's good to be live.
Take it away, Brandon.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wednesday's edition of
The National Call.
And yes, I was going to say Todd Talks, but he's not talking. He's not feeling so well.
That's right.
Everybody in the chat, which I don't see. Is there? Yep. In the chat, wish Todd, who is on the call, a speedy recovery. He may have gotten into some bad ground beef.
Poor buddy.
And if you would like to share your most embarrassing food poisoning story, we would love to see it in the chat. And we promise we won't read it unless it's really funny. We got too much stuff for us to cover today to go over anything other than what we already have planned.
That's right. Big day today, Brando.
And it is such a big day. I'm so excited, everybody. So here's the plan for the day, Casey. We're going to do a really important national call. And then after the national call, we're going to take a 5-second break, not 5-minute break, 5-second break, and jump onto the link to do our virtual Make-A-Wish event.
That's right.
Virtual Impact Day benefiting Make-A-Wish. So before we do that, though, we got some really cool stuff to be talked through with Senior Director of Corporate Wellbeing and Community Outreach, Whit, who we have decided has the longest title in the organization, and SFG co-founder Meredith Ellison. They're going to be talking about the Ripple model, which they've been working on for a couple of years now. So we're really excited about this, guys. Stick with us. It's going to be a good day. I can almost guarantee that when you're done with us today, your spirits will be so lifted, you won't know what to do with yourself. So before that, let's hit some conference calls. Can we? Number one, first-time writer of the week, Rachel Kennedy. Unless it's a Rochelle, which it could be. Congratulations to our top writer of the week, Derek Fitzgerald, almost $30,000 in premium. Good week, everybody that made the board. Top app count receiver was a Rochelle Kennedy as well. Way to go. Top med sup getter was Christopher Rowland. Top DI writer was Anissa Shipley, $4,800. Top IUL producer, Stephanie Weidra. And if you want to write more IULs, we have leads for that. We need to get Resma on here pretty soon to talk through all the options there. But we're getting ready to really start pumping some of those out more as well. But you can see the production, $21,000 for Stephanie. It's worth it to go get it. Alicia Hudson, $697,498 for the top annuity producer for the week. Top DFL writer was Derek Fitzgerald with $42,414. Fitzy, killing it, man. That's a big number. Andrew Jimenez tied a three-way tie, for Base Shop new writers with Hemi, Frank, and Susie. Jacob Pogue is the number one top direct new writers with 12. Nate Offert and Douglas Dorr, top Base Shop SNAs. Top direct SNA was Jacob Pogue with 3. And here are our SNAs. Binda, Baylock, McDowell, Brazen, Johnston, Matsuno, Anjarame, Sanderson, Wyatt, Lincoln, Quigley. How about that?
Nice.
Took us long enough for you to get here, Gail. Figueroa, Anderson, Davis, Marcelino, Valencia Barajas, Avis, Whitehead, Huslin, Roussel, McCarthy, Owenby, Keith, Richardson, Walker, Hunt, and Carter. I apologize if I butchered your names. It's the best I can do. Thank you. Congratulations, season new agents. And congratulations to the top key leader of the week, Alina Cantrell, Mark Mussafer with 3 recruits, and Eric Sullivan, along with LaTanya James, with 2 new writers. Top agency owner for the week is Rob Purley. Jerry Choate's the top recruiter. And Fred and Gabby Roethlisberger with Ron Williams are the top new writers. Top agency director is Larry and Ann Griffin, which, by the way, I got a text from Larry Griffin this morning. I'm glad I'm seeing his name pop up here. Did I share with you that text, Casey?
Yeah.
Larry, I hope you don't mind. This is part of the danger of anybody that texts me is you could end up on a call. Check this out. Skipping a little bit down, fired up for PCS. Last week, we received payment on 26 issued policies for October for over $10,000 in passive income.
Boom.
There's nothing else out there like it.
Yep.
Spread the news, man. Way to go, Larry and Ann Griffin. Ben Seifapor with 14 recruits. And Larry and Ann Griffin with 8 new riders. Great week. Eileen Balmer is the top rad. Trey Alderson Cloutier is the top recruiter. And Eileen is the top new rider procurer. Top managing vice president is John Ziller, edging out Chris Cook. There's a nice little rivalry shaping up here. Chris Cook, however, took him on the recruiting. Christopher Clark snuck in there on the for the top new riders. Way to go. Top senior vice president, Nate Offert, continuing to kill it. Tony Capistrano is the recruiter and Nate as the new riders. I struggle with that new rider getter, procurer, just at the head of the new rider board. I'm struggling. Any suggestions, you guys let me know. Sean Shannon, top executive vice president. Scott Mank is the top recruiter. And Sean and Scott are tied with the most new riders at 7. Lynn Watkins is the type associate partner. Look at Ryan and Michelle Miller. Just saying. Ashley and Tyler. Lynn Watkins with 41 recruits in his master and 17 new riders for Ashley and Tyler and Linwood's organization. Way to go. Easy Eddie Pritchett with almost $1.1 million to be the top senior partner. Edward Pritchett is the top recruiter at 63 and the top new riders at 31. It seems, there's somebody sneak in there. Hang on, we'll show you in a minute. Marshall Whalen, 1.122, top overall organization for the week. 70 recruits, 51 new riders, 51 new riders. Killing it, buddy. Way to go. Jacob Pogue is the top direct. Did you see Jacob Pogue's video, by the way? If you haven't seen Jacob Pogue's video, you need to watch it. He does this every year, several years in a row now, where he fills a whole transfer truck trailer full of toys to give out. And I can't remember, Jacob, I know it's a local thing that you do. Is that Toys for Tots? What is that? I don't know. Send me that, though. It's very heartwarming. George Matthews says that we should say new rider facilitator. That's pretty good. Ayers says new rider wrangler.
Wrangler.
A new rider wrangler. Jacob Pogue with 28 recruits and 12 new riders, man. Killing it on the directs board as usual. Way to go, buddy. Top base is Nate. Alvarado and Newbauer with 7 recruits each. And Susie, Brenez, and Hemi all with 3 new riders. One new elite producer, man. That's a big number there. 40 grand, right? 40 grand for an elite producer. Steve Barnett. Two months in a row, 3 months in a row. I need to check my playbook. I can't remember, but it's a lot, Steve.
Yep. Well done.
Well done. Top producer ain't too shabby. It's taken Edward 13 years to become a top producer. What is he doing?
He's just trying to collect all the badges.
He's just collecting them all.
He's
Save some for the rest of us, Eddie.
He's working down the list a little bit now.
He did. He's going backwards. Jeffrey Copshow, Jennifer Olson, Kashif Powell, and Shelly Kravitz. Way to go, top producers. New team leaders is Metzen, Chang, Camp, Wood, Kuhn, Cox, Moore, Manowski, Schnitzer, and Starling. Sounded like our lunch today. We tried some schnitzel.
Right.
Yep, that was a Watkins pick.
Mm-hmm.
Top key leaders, Minivar, DeHaven, Bowersox, Fleming, Billman, Moore, Ostergaard, Lewis, Hoyseth, and Roccanello. You remember old Roccanello?
Yeah. T-Rock.
T-Rock.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
Nicely done to everyone.
Top agency owners or new agency owners. There's 5 of you. Congratulations. Cassandra Mack, Frank Coronel, Joanna Doibin, Helen Griffin, and Shannon Turner. It is, it's going to get harder before it gets easier. I just want you to know that. It's important that you know that you have not arrived. You are just getting started. But we are looking forward to getting to know all of you on the hobnobbing coming up soon.
That's right.
Which we're reinstating. Congratulations to the new agency directors, Jamie Hinckley, JPV, and Chris Leak.
Nice guys.
Well done. Esther Carlson is a new managing vice president.
Nice.
Look at here. Griff
Yeah.
Martin, Jamie Susie, new directs.
That's a big one.
That is a big one. Congratulations. Becoming a new direct is one of those things where it's like you get there and it takes 3 months and you miss it a little bit. And then you get a month in and you come back. And then you get a month, 2 months in and you come back. It's a hard one to reach. So congratulations, Griff and Jamie. Y'all killed it. Well done. Which makes Edward Pritchett a new managing partner.
Very nice.
Very, very nice. And while we're going over promotions, man, we got some big ones here at the corporate office. Steve Fletcher, our new president. We call kind of an integrator for those of you that are in the EOS system, which many of you are. Integrator is a lot like a president. So you'll hear us kind of refer to him as an integrator, but that is the same as a new president. Yes, I was thinking that Jacob Pogue, by the way, Jacob Pogue is a new managing, let's see here, hang on. Managing partner. I know he didn't make the list, but I saw Susie come up. So anyway.
So it's Edward Pritchett and Jacob on managing partner.
Yes.
Very nice. Good
Yes.
work, fellas.
You hear that, Spivey? Take a note to let them know. I'm sure they already know. They just missed the PowerPoint. Congratulations, Pug. I thought that was right. My
Let
phone
these
is
guys,
blowing up.
let these three gents hear it too in the chat. These were very
Yes.
big moves for behind the scenes, and Fletch with his background. Brandon and I went to a tech conference with a few others from the home office and Fletch was, Fletch was pretty popular. We didn't realize what kind of clout Fletch carried with him from his AIG days. So it's cool to see him a little bit more in his element. But obviously, you guys know Fletch has been our CFO for a little over 2 years now, right, Brandon?
Yep.
And has just made a massive, massive impact behind the scenes in our company. And it was time to move him into a role like Brandon mentioned, integrator, but to the outside corporate world, that might be better termed as president. So this is an extremely large move for our company, and we're very excited about what it's going to bring to all of you guys. We're already starting to see, this is a move we made really probably 2-3 weeks ago now. And just the change in the atmosphere, the change and just the actual momentum of the company and the organization of it all has already seen an impact from it. So really excited about all three of these guys. But Fletch is that's a big move. And then you want to hit the other ones too, Brando?
Yeah, Doug Zay moving from operations to chief people officer. We brought Doug in, 5 or 6 years ago.
Maybe even longer than that.
Is it longer than that, Doug? I don't know. I can't remember how long it is. My COVID really screwed me up with all of my time frames.
Going on 7 years now.
Okay, 6.5 going on 7 years. And with a background in behavioral therapy, kind of getting Doug back into the zone that he was hired to do and what he really kind of thrives in. So we're really excited. We'll get a little more details out to everyone as we progress just on what these moves mean. But I think congratulations, Doug. It's been such a huge help in getting so many things, so many initiatives over the past 2-3 years kind of lifted, and but moving you into your preferred sweet spot, and really excited about the impact that you're going to be able to make, not only really on the home office, but also on managers and agents alike. So excited for that one too. And of course, Mike Resma, for those of you that have had a chance to work with Mike, know what kind of energy he brings, what kind of value he brings. Now our new chief distribution officer, Mike, will sit over every division within Quility from a distribution standpoint, and couldn't be more excited. Mike is somebody that comes to the table with experience in Casey, everything that we do. Mike was a great writing agent. Mike was one of the top agency builders at Assura before that merger acquisition. Mike has created and helped develop software with the DFL software, solutions with the products that he's helped to create. He has overseen the rollout of so many things that you guys use. And to be honest with you, I think he's been behind the curtain a little bit. And a lot of people have seen Mike maybe more as kind of the resident DFL expert, while in reality, he has been so much more than that. So
Yep.
I know you guys are going to feel his impact a ton, and it's just really exciting to see and exciting, with everything I think that Mike has coming up with the reset program, with some new negotiations that we've got going on the product side. Mike is actually helping with Brian and with you and I and with Palmer on a lot of the product development side, stuff that's coming out with DFL that backed up a little bit, but it's still coming. Some IUL products that are coming out on platform, the platform itself that you've been working on. So we'll be having a State of the Union call. We're actually having a call Monday for a lot of the AOs and ears holders, where we can kind of get into a little bit of the State of the Union stuff. But I think what Mike has been working on a lot a lot of people will begin to see it. Mike, what are you most excited about with all the projects under sales that you've been working on, bud?
For first off, just want to say thank you. Very honored and grateful to be in this role. Really looking forward to making an impact across all divisions, and with the mindset of the agent is our client. So just driving to that point where we effectively get to know no sales, right? The resets and other things that we have going on in our digital products, really the things that we're going to be piloting soon on platform with Navigator and the current products, and things that are going on between the digital products, the innovation, our platforms, resets. I mean, it's all exciting, truly transformative, and couldn't be more grateful to be here with you guys. So thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
Really
Hey, Brando, it's Pope.
Hey, buddy.
I'll tell you that probably a couple of things. I'm not excited about a bunch of product, but one thing I think is really exciting. It's probably the DFL, the digital DFL product coming, and the IUL product. I mean, the IUL product is number one. It's going to be one of the top IUL products on the market, and we're looking at right now where our product design is 1 million issued like the QLT. So, you sell an IUL at point of sale, you can deliver it the same way, same process, all of that. And that is strong.
Yeah. And when we talk about platform, considering, all on single application, add-on ability, all in the same underwriting, it's there's so many good things that are coming. And, you've known Mike you've had the opportunity of knowing Mike for longer than we have. Obviously Pope, so what he brings to the table, but I'm excited for a lot of the agency owners to get to know Mike and know him beyond just his DFL persona, which is pretty accurate to the rest of his persona, I will say.
Exactly. Yeah. I just wish he'd cheer up and get a little energy.
Yeah,
I know. He's always such a Debbie Downer.
We're working on it.
He is.
That's his only. We all have our areas of growth, right? So,
thank you, Res. Appreciate it, buddy.
Excited about all of those moves and more. There are a handful of people that we will continue to kind of talk through. But Pam, for example, is taking a little bit more of a role in contracting, and Maitland, really stepping up in some lead things. So there's a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot of movement. There's a lot of really positive momentum kind of going on behind the home office. So it's really good to see.
Yeah, it's important for us to keep sharing that with you guys, so you understand kind of how things are working behind the scenes too. So we'll keep you up to date on it.
Yep. All right. What's next? So bookmark this. We're going to come back to it, but as soon as this call is over here in just a little while, event.gives/storybookwish. That is going to be today at 2:00. You're going to definitely want to jump from this call over to that one. You don't stay on this call. You got to register. So if you haven't done that yet, go ahead and take a minute now to get registered. Event.gives/storybookwish. And we'll come back to that here in just a little while before we make that transition. Big State of the Union call to put in your books for December 7th, right after we get back from Cabo. It's going to be 1:00 this time for our normal call. So just make sure that you bookmark that you definitely want to get here. We're going to do a year in review and also talk about some of the things that are working on behind the scenes.
Yep. Sorry to interrupt there, buddy. This is a big one for you guys to share, with with your potential up and coming recruits. We're still determining how we're actually going to do this. It could be in the form of a call, but it could also be live streamed. We're still kind of working on it behind the scenes. We'd like to figure out how to do like a YouTube platform live stream to where we could really open it up to the masses and promote it. So you guys do what you've been doing on social, everything you guys have been doing to help promote some of these events. Keep it up. It's working, but this is going to be a big one.
Yes, it is. Looking forward to it. And then also next year, save the date, March 21st through 22nd. Go to HQ for more details. But the Symmetry Leaders Summit and Spring Fling invitation is only going to be for key leaders and above. But even then, there are going to be numbers that you have to hit. You got to hit key leader numbers or agency owner numbers. So we'll get more details on that next Monday for the agency owners and ears call. But make sure that you bookmark that event and start getting that production in, because you got to qualify for it.
That's right. Everyone should be just focusing on November, December, January, February. And again, key leaders, you don't have to be a qualified key leader or a qualified agency owner to hit these numbers. You just have to hit the key leader numbers or the agency owner numbers if you're not those titles already. If you do hold those titles, you just need to hit the numbers. And so our goal is we want to make it invitation only. We want to make it very special for what we have actually to roll out to talk with you guys about. But that will be a full all hands training workshop where, you know, we have so many transformational things going on with our company between Switchboard, new products, new sales scripts, all of those initiative, PCS resets. So many things that all of us leaders need to really understand. So we're going to take a full day with you guys to do that. Brandon and I and Pope will be kind of doing our State of the Union type thing around that time as well. We'll have a bunch of our carrier partners in for that. And then on the 22nd, we're going to have a big party looking at Sierra Nevada. We don't have the actual details, but it'll be somewhere really awesome in Asheville. Probably some live music, fun and drinks and all that kind of stuff. So want as many of you guys to be pushing and trying to get qualified for that and get your plane tickets and back yourself into that corner. And it's going to be a fun one. We're getting excited about it.
Yes, indeed. Sorry, he's freezing up on me a little bit here. Champions Cup. Let's get our standings here. Of course, we're going through the end of the year, but Misty Cintron right now in the Champions division. The Directs division right now is Jacob Pogue in first place. Way to go, Pogue. The base shop is James Satterfield. That one's a little tighter race. The top agency owner right now is Misty Cintron. Kind of getting out to a pretty good lead. Congratulations, Misty. So we'll keep you posted. Also, a few more leaderboards. The MyQuility Concierge, which runs through the end of the year for a $5,000 vacation. Are you enrolling your clients into MyQuility? If you're not, why aren't you? Let us know. How can we make that easier for you? Ashley Tarr right now, number one. We'll get some more numbers around this to know exactly how close we are. Ashton DeLonga-Lunde, number one on the top agency owner side, and the overall top agent currently is Lola Onifad. But we'll get actual numbers around this to show you how close it is coming up soon. Another save the date, Thursday, December 8th at 11 Eastern, a virtual care from Walmart Health training webinar. That is going to be with MyQuility Director of Member Services, Brittany Torbett, and Walmart Health Senior Relationship Manager, Ollie Cassidy. So again, Thursday the 8th, virtual care and MyQuility. Save that date. Got some new and upcoming things coming with MyQuility. The Share MyQuility Enhanced feature live will help with what we were just talking about. Switchboard scripts are going to go live as well, and Summit training videos also coming soon. So stay tuned. I know we're running through this quickly because we got a lot to cover. Tomorrow we've got Americo on updates to make the sales process easier. And everybody stop what you're doing. If you were an AO or an ears holder, make sure that you bookmark this. This is a call that will not be recorded. It will not be shared. We are requesting 100% of your attendance on this call. It is extremely important, as there's some really important things that we're going to be covering. A little bit of the State of the Union, what's going on behind the scenes, but also an update on ears and that sort of thing. So make sure that you bookmark at 1 o'clock Eastern. That's this coming Monday. And of course, we've got our FIF reset and advanced market training every Tuesday, hosted by Sigworth and Burks. So that'll be Tuesday at 11 o'clock Eastern as well. Follow us on social, Casey. I don't know if you're following us,
Now,
especially on Twitter. That's where you really, where all the action is.
get real active on Twitter. Yeah.
You're very active and you get very political on Twitter. I've seen you. Very divisive. I don't like it. Everybody's going to quit Twitter to try to find you. I'm not going to tell you what his secret Twitter handle is.
I am verified though. I paid $8.
I am not verified. I'm fake Brandon.
Fake verified.
I'm fake Brandon. There's other check mark colors you can get now too. There's a blue one, there's a white one, there's
Different levels you
a
got
lot
to pay
going
for.
on Twitter. Apparently, we need
There's a
Spivey.
lot of weird stuff going on.
Spivey got me into Twitter several years ago because we followed an account called it was some kind of fighting account where it's like street fights and stuff, and we got to watch bullies get beat up a lot, and like so.
That's terrible, man.
Very productive use of my time. That's probably gear 7 time, I think is what
Yeah. That's
BW
I think that's reverse.
that's reverse. That is it. That's reverse time. Whatever. You can't tell me you don't like watching a good scuffle.
Yeah, little street fights, never a bad thing.
Street fights are usually pretty good as long as you're not in them. Don't recommend getting into a street fight. And enough of us. With 2 minutes to spare, I promised 1:30 and got us to 1:28. Would love to
Even with disclosing your street fight, Hawk, you still made it.
Very impressive, Brandon.
Yep. And I feel like we got a lot of good things out of that call too. I mean, we got new rider wranglers, we got there's a lot of different things. Delaney says, are you talking about bum fights? No, I'm not.
No,
There is
we're not talking about fights anymore on this.
Nope.
Now we're on to Ripple.
We're actually
On to something
trying to do
positive.
something a little
positive.
different.
Basically
I
the
don't know.
opposite. The opposite.
Meredith, you're always trying to get us into healthy rumbles, though. So
I know.
That's true.
That's true. That is true.
Healthy rumbles. Really proud though of Whit, Meredith, what you guys and Doug as well, what you guys have been working on. Oh man, I said 2 years earlier. Is that pretty close to the timeline here of?
It'll be 3 March of coming up
Yeah.
here in March.
Yeah,
wow.
meaning that's when the idea was birthed, and then a lot of life has happened in between the thought of this and today.
Yeah,
So pretty
meaning
exciting.
it was conceived right before a pandemic hit, I think is
Yes.
what I'm hearing.
Pandemic. It was also a little bit before Quility became Quility. So just some things that took us a little away, but we're really glad to be back. So
Well, I think it's always been one of our secret weapons, and I'm excited for everyone to understand what you guys have been working on behind the scenes, because it's really taking what we feel like you guys have done a great job of helping us to build up to this point from a culture standpoint to really to the next level. So we're just really excited for you guys to roll this out to the crew, excited about what we have after this call. Casey and I will shut up because we want you guys to do most of the talking. Because this has been your baby. So really proud of what y'all put together.
Thank you. Well, Mayor, here we are.
here we are.
We've been
Look how
talking about
pretty.
this. I know, it looks great.
Mhm.
My heart's beating fast. And when you're passionate about something and excited about something, those are kinds of sensations that are going to happen. And I'm going to try to get through this first part without tearing up. This has been a fun, just amazing road creating this with Meredith, my best friend and partner in this. And, Quility and Symmetry, right? This company was built for the people. And this goes all the way back to 2009 when the founders said, hey, we're going to do something different. The reason they wanted to do something different was not for their own good. It was for the people. They were watching what was happening in these other IMOs, and they wanted to create something different. They wanted the agents to benefit in a different way. They wanted to build a company where staff was going to reap the benefit of being a part of a company that valued a healthy culture. And, over these years, what's it been 12, 13 now, something like that? You know, the community that we have created, this family feel, this family vibe that we created, it's real. And we see that in those moments, those hard times. We've had hard times, y'all, you know, through losing agents, through growths of company. And then we've had these amazing times. And it doesn't matter because everybody comes together. Everyone comes together, whether it's a hard time or an awesome time. And that's a good company culture to have as your foundation. And so this was easy for us. This was easy for Mare and I to birth this idea because we did it for you all. We did it out of what you all have created, a culture that you all have created. And, you know, we're obviously going to dive into it a little more, but this is for y'all. And think about the fact that you're working for a company that has hired a Brian Williamson, Chief Leadership Development Officer, now a Doug Zay, Chief People Officer, our entire HR department, my role, Meredith's role. We have 8 people, 8 salaries that are all about the people of this company. That's pretty, you're not going to find another company our size that the owners and founders would put that much into it. So just kind of take that in for a minute. Mare, you got anything to intro here?
Thanks, Whit. Thank you for those words. You know, I think I just want to talk a minute about the name, you know, Ripple model. You know, I think we have to understand as humans, we're always creating a ripple, always, all the time, every minute. You know, we break it down. Energy is flowing from you at all moments. And what we love about this name is we want to bring intention and purpose to creating the ripple we want to see in the world, you know? And so it was just, we knew it when the name hit. We remember seeing the graphic and it was like, that's it, because the ripple is going out and whatever ripples you're sending out are also coming right back at you. And so that is the big energy we're talking about here. Is some days we're going to create massive ripples, like what we're about to do at 2:00 is a massive ripple we're going to create for Make-A-Wish and for families and for children. But some days it's truly just about the energy you're bringing into a room. It's truly about looking at someone in the eye and just giving them a true, genuine smile. It's about picking up the phone call and connecting with someone. It's about maybe offering a cup of coffee for someone you don't even know, because then that changes their trajectory for their day. And then maybe they go do something for someone else and it changes. And maybe we never even know the ripples that we're creating in this world, but they're happening all the time. So I'm so excited about the name. I'm so excited for our team and the excitement that has been about building this brand and this logo. You know, I'd never been through a process before about how to develop a logo, and how much goes into it was like the coolest thing I've ever been a part of. And so, so we'll get into that a little bit, but yeah, we're just excited to roll this out today. And what we're talking about today, all the pillars, we've established all this. It's now kind of trying to bring it back together and create it under one brand of who we are and what we're about and where we're headed and how we want to grow. So yeah. So essentially the what is this, right? So we're kind of telling you, you know, why we were doing this. The what is, this is Quility's culture model. So you see here a roadmap for creating wholehearted culture. That's our mission statement. This is Quility's culture model that we are going to weave. It's already weaving through, but we're going to continue to weave through both sides of the company, right? Through our agent side and through our corporate side. And as we said earlier, back in 2020, this vision came. We have these 3 platforms that had their own brand, mission statements, logo, their whole, had it all, right? And that's Thrive, Connect, and Impact. And the vision that we had was that these 3 platforms would live under one umbrella. And we would, essentially, they would be absorbed into the ripple.
So what you will see moving forward is we're losing the brands of Thrive, Connect, and Impact, but we're not losing anything. Like Mayor said, nothing's changing. All of that still exists. Everything just gets absorbed into the Ripple model so that everyone has access to the whole picture of what our culture is all about. So, where it would get a little wonky sometimes is, is this a connect initiative? Is this an impact initiative? Maybe it's both. And so this allows everyone access. It allows us to go to that core value we've talked about for quality of simplicity. And it allows us to go to that place of creating this model in a more simple way, access to materials, access to content, access to our stories that we want to tell. All of that is going to be simpler living in one umbrella. And, you'll see we have a Connect social platform, but we don't have a Thrive social platform or an Impact social platform. Well, all of it's going to live under Ripple. So you're going to get to see all of this. And then we have a Thrive newsletter, but we don't have a Connect newsletter or an Impact newsletter. Again, everything's going to live in this one central place. So you're going to get to feel and be a part of this. And we're going to be sharing your stories. We want to hear from staff and agents. We want to know how you're plugging into these pillars, platforms turning into pillars of Ripple, how you're plugging into leadership development and wellness, professional growth. How are you leaning into women's empowerment? How are you leaning into community outreach? These things, and we're going to bring it all together and share your stories and certainly share ours as well.
Yeah, I was just going to add real quick. I mean, that is what brings culture alive. I mean, when you have the ability to generate those stories, because values are owned by all of you out there. And our culture is our ability to raise up those stories to see how it spreads throughout the company. It's not about us, what we send down to you, it's what you send up to us. And I think Whit and Meredith both just done an amazing job of creating that opportunity in a centralized way, so that as you're moving through your life and your day, there is so much return on that investment for you, of taking your time to lift another person, of taking your time to volunteer. We all love and we want all that money flowing in about 30 minutes from now. But what fills us up and what lights us up is the pictures we see, the events that are held throughout the company. And when they said this is taken hold, I mean, I think it's just so apparent and obvious. And the function of it is to attract like-minded people who want that experience in their life. And I can say from my perspective that that we spend so much of our life in work. We spend so much of our life in connection with those people. The value of creating health and well-being within that doesn't just hit you and your team, it extends past all of that into your communities, into your families. And that's what we're all about, is we are whole people. We're not just parts, and we don't just get to separate our parts out. We're whole people, and just so very proud of Whit and Meredith for what they've done and will continue to do for all of you.
Thanks, Doug.
Mary, should we go through the 3 pillars?
That's what I was going to see if Brandon could maybe pull the PowerPoint back up. I think it shows that, I think. Because some of you might be new and might not know kind of the pillars we have had in the past. We want to take a minute to kind of update you on that. Like Whit said, we are dropping the name of Thrive and Connect and Impact. You'll see kind of which we definitely want you to follow us, please, at the Ripple Model there, and on Facebook at Official Ripple Model. So if y'all can all take your phones out and make sure you're following there. But you can kind of see in this on the Quality page, the 3 icons and pillars underneath Ripple. And there are community outreach. I wish I could see that better.
Yeah, I'll read it. So community outreach, our mission for that pillar, enriching lives and impacting communities through relationship, service, and support.
Awesome. And then women's plus empowerment.
Connecting the collective feminine power to amplify our work in the world.
And then the well-being and personal growth pillar.
Living with intention and aligning with our highest selves so we may thrive.
Perfect. And Whit, let's just take a minute on community outreach. I'd love for you just to speak to a minute on kind of what that has looked like in the past and kind of our values around community outreach.
Yeah, you know, I have such a special job and role, and you know, getting to get in the community with people and truly understanding where the needs are, and being backed by a company that allows me the time to do that, where, and you all have heard me say this 100 times, where it's not just about writing a check. Absolutely, money is important and we're always giving financially, but there's so much going on in our communities that we need to learn about and understand how to actually truly support. And we are all, even our leadership team, Meredith has done such a great job sharing information, books, and podcasts of some of our favorite philanthropic folks that we love to learn from, and how we can improve you know, how we can improve our outreach, right? And just getting curious about your community and what the needs are. And you have to take the time to do that. And I'm telling you, it will fill you up when you take the time to do that.
Yeah. I can always tell when Whit's been to a meeting with one of our community partners, she comes back full of just life and excitement. It's always wonderful to witness. Our Women's Plus Empowerment, you know, formerly known as Connect, you know, one of the reasons I'm really excited, especially for this initiative and this pillar to be under Ripple, is sometimes I think we can miss the mark of saying, oh, that's just for the women, you know, that's just for the women of this company. And that it's not, it's for everyone in this company. And now that it lives under Ripple, hopefully we can gain more of an understanding of what we mean by that. I do believe this is our time for women to take our rightful role in co-equal partnership with men. 100%. It is the time for that. But this is also about really bringing balance in our world and in our companies with masculinity and femininity. No matter how you identify, it is both energies we need in the workplace, in our world, to create the balance we need to see. So this one just, it speaks deeply into who Whit and I are and what our beliefs are and what our world needs more of. And we're still going to be doing our interviews every month. They're awesome. I mean, if y'all haven't watched LaTanya James last month, I mean, I asked one question and it was 45 minutes of the most beautiful story I've ever heard. You know, I mean, it's just powerful stories. And that's what we want a platform for, people to share stories, because when you share your stories, you realize how connected we all truly are. And so it helps us live to that higher health level and that higher self that we're all gaining towards, which goes into our third pillar of well-being and personal growth. And so Whit, speak to that one for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, we've Thrive, that was formerly Thrive, right? And we're going to have Doug now really being able to lead the charge with this, certainly with our corporate staff, and being able to dive in with the agents as well. And with Brian Williamson and his role, there's going to be so much of these folks being able to pour into you all around that personal growth, that leadership. We know this really at its core for the agents and for the staff, it's a leadership development company. We are developing leaders. So we need this, we need the resources, we need the people driving it. And we need to be able to lean on each other for it. And we are building a team for y'all to lean on, and just really, really excited about it.
And we've got a couple, we have someone here, Lacey Vicks from our staff, and we have Andrew Jimenez from our agent. And we want to just get a little bit of time with them. But, you know, I also want to be clear that this is not like we have this figured out, or that we have just have all that we need to know about what it means to have a healthy, thriving culture. This is a journey we're all on. We're all understanding we're going to make some mistakes. We're going to put ourselves out there. We're going to listen, and we're going to be curious to what it means to continue to grow a healthy culture, because that changes every day we're alive. We're learning information, we're growing. And so we're excited to be on this journey, but it also, we understand and also embrace the vulnerability, it feels like too, because we don't want to feel like we're experts here. We are just saying it matters to us. We want to put some processes around it. We want, when we say we have a healthy culture, you can point to exactly what this means. What does it look like? How does it feel? And we're going to grow, and we're going to grow it together. That's one of the reasons, we started with our original 3 pillars, but we hope to add pillars as we learn and grow more of what we need to see in our workplaces and in our world. So,
and to your point, Meredith, we have to listen, and that's, you create a vision of well-being for a company based on listening and learning, and that's what we're doing. And like she said, it's going to be always evolving and changing. So we need to hear from you all where we're hitting the mark and where we're not. And obviously give us a little grace as we're just rolling all this out. And there's lots to come to, and we'll I think before we wrap up, let's talk to Lacey and Andrew.
Yeah, we'll talk to Lacey and Andrew if they don't mind unveiling.
And then we can run through a few things on where you're going to find all this and what it's going to look like moving forward.
Perfect.
For Lacey and Andrew, Lacey, let's go to you first. If you're on and you want to turn your camera on. Lacey is our VP of marketing. I'm biased. I adore her. And so I don't know what to say more than just, she's an unbelievable, amazing friend and business colleague. And I wanted her on here because so much of what we've developed comes out of watching Lacey dive into this work for her team. And Lacey, just want to know, what is it like working for a company like this who values a healthy culture, who values their people? And what has it been like to work through these pillars, these previous platforms, and to now see all of this, come to this whole new place?
First of all, that was a really sweet intro, so thank you. Kind of took me aback. I really appreciate it, but I also wanted to say congratulations, because I know this was a long time coming. It was a labor of love, very intensive for over the last 3 years. So it's a very exciting day, and I have some really great news because my team has been blowing me up since, I don't know, the last 20 minutes or so, about the number of followers we're getting on the channels already, about the excitement we're receiving. So this is really good. So I'm just, so grateful, and just congratulations. This is really, really awesome. So, but if I could, just speak to a little bit about my experience. Initially, the reason why I did say yes to the opportunity to work with Symmetry, because I joined when it was Symmetry in 2019, is because of the community impact piece and how that was just put out into the marketplace. And it wasn't just something where the company was writing a check to a nonprofit. There was a lot of focus on how we can get the agents and corporate staff involved in all of these efforts. So we're feeling it in every aspect, right? It wasn't just to check off a box. This really was ingrained in the culture. And that's what got me really interested in working here. And then after I started getting involved in the department, getting to know everything a little bit better, and working in the corporate office, seeing how the Connect initiative worked, what impressed me about that the most was how the other peripheral impacts it had, right? Outside of just being able to have a platform for women to speak professionally about some of the issues they might be facing, or helping, work through specific challenges. What it did was it allowed folks on all different levels of the company that I've seen be able to feel impressed and proud of these connections that are being made, being able to make complication situations seem more simple, and simplifying them and giving them confidence in being able to say, well, I can do that too. I'm identifying the issue that I'm going through with this, just like this woman is with her particular role in her particular time, and being able to apply it to what they have. And I thought that was very impressive. It wasn't just something that was an icon on a website. It was actually something that was being talked about openly, and not, in shuffled messages, which is great. And for me, really, like the way I always think about the well-being and personal growth pillar of Ripple, kind of formerly known as Thrive. I don't really know how I want to phrase that, because I speak about the Thrive curriculum a lot with my team. I came here because of impact, but I've really stayed this long because of what's been provided to us through Thrive when it comes to personal growth and well-being. What that's done for me has been completely invaluable in being able to provide a framework of communication. And it's kind of provides a layer of accountability for all of us in terms of how we want to speak to one another with respect and come from a place of learning and not from a place of knowing, and opening up ourselves to conversations to work through, yet again, these complicated circumstances with others. And what it's been able to do is kind of like highlight areas in leadership that I can help grow my team, and then therefore that they can grow the members of their team as well. So yeah, all around, it's just been, it's really what's helped me dig into the work culture here at Quility. And I think it speaks volumes to be able to even just talk about it here today on this call. And so I just want to just say thanks for everything you guys have provided, and it's been a wonderful experience.
Thank you, Lacey.
Thank you, Lacey.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Such a huge leader, vice president in our company. So thank you for what you bring every day.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Andrew.
Hey.
Thank you for being on today. Whit and I had several people we wanted to ask on, but we knew we didn't have a ton of time. And thank you for saying yes to being on. Andrew's catching a flight here in a little while, headed out of the country, but it meant a lot that you said, no, this matters and I want to be on here today. So thank you, buddy. I appreciate you, and love to hear your thoughts around the Ripple model.
No, I'll say this, just thank you guys for inviting me on. I'll just quickly say this too, is like, when I came to Symmetry, I was looking for very few specific things in terms of like, I wanted to feel like I could make an impact on people. I wanted to feel like I could experience diversity and cultures and people. And truly, I wanted to learn. And I wanted to be surrounded by people that would show me how to be a more successful individual and a better individual. And I think one of the coolest things that I've gotten to experience, this is for Meredith, Brandon, Casey, Brian Pope, all you guys, just, I don't know anything else. This is how I know how to deal with people. This is how I know how to lead. And I have watched you guys not only live out your values in your daily lives, but then have transferred that into living out our values in our company. And it's what makes, and I just feel like everything that Ripple is, it embodies who we are. And I know at my personal growth journey between, first it was Giant, and then it jumped into Thrive. And then I really started getting better self-awareness about myself, and then getting more coaching through our AOA academies. It's like, there's just so much opportunity here that I think Ripple can really teach us how to show agents who might be looking to say, how can I compound all of this into one centralized platform? And man, I'm actually thinking about it like this, is if I see the way that I want to impact or integrate it into my team, is just the number one rule of leadership: live out by example, right? And living it out through everything that we do. Danny Young always says we got two jobs, right? Get bigger and get better. But really, we're going to get bigger by getting better and leading through the culture that you guys built. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Andrew.
Yes. All right, where to find us?
Yes.
Isn't that
Yes.
right?
So those social platforms. So just so y'all know, we're taking Ripple in steps. We our landing page, you'll be able to find us on the Symmetry and the Quility website. Those are just in version 1. They're going to be built out even more. Social media, definitely follow us, Facebook and Quility, or Instagram. You will see a newsletter that's going to be in 2023. So a Ripple newsletter will start then. You'll see Ripple things on HQ. You'll see Ripple moments on the national calls. We may have a Ripple podcast one day. That's a dream. And so we have lots of things we're building towards. Right now is really the rollout, seeing what it all needs to look like, how we bring it all under one umbrella. And one thing that I did want to talk about is our Ripple Ambassador program. And that is something we've already started here for the corporate staff. So we have identified about 30 individuals that that we know can help drive this culture. As we continue to grow, that's why something like this is so important. As companies continue to grow, and if we're reaching for that $10 billion goal, that's amazing. However, we have to keep this family that we created and this healthy culture that we created. And how do we do that? Well, it's going to be hard, but we can do it. And the Ripple model is going to help us. And having ambassadors, having people that are living and breathing it with us and pushing it down through their teams, that's how we do it. So our corporate Ripple ambassadors, they have a structure of what they will follow to help drive the culture. And we would love to do that with the agents and with teams as well. So, you know, Meredith and I, you know us, we love to talk to people, and we want to get on y'all's calls. We want to be with your teams, and we want to be talking culture. We want to be talking Ripple. So be thinking about that. We're going to bug you about that so that we can help you with all of that. So lots is coming with it.
That's
so
awesome.
Stay tuned.
And I know we're up against a 3-minute, but I just wanted to end this because I think it's a beautiful example of what we're talking about today. Is this is our third Make-A-Wish event virtual. Is that right?
Yep.
Third virtual event. And you know, this whole partnership with Make-A-Wish has just been a special partnership for a long time. And what I love about this partnership is it started in 2016 with a mom friend of Whit and I's that was at our school, asked Symmetry, would we consider sponsoring her for her Trailblaze Challenge? She was raising $2,500, right? And she was not knowing if she was going to make it. And she was nervous. And you could tell just even asking me, like it was so vulnerable for her. She was like, I don't want to bother you, but I'm doing this and we're trying to raise money for Make-A-Wish. I remember going to Brandon and Casey and they were like, yeah, we'll give her $1,000. And she broke down crying. Like she could not believe we said yes, and that we said yes to almost half of what she needed to raise. And in fact, that put her to where she was able to do her hike. And here it is, 2022, and we're about to make a massive impact for the families of that organization. And it started with one question. And the ripple that woman was able to create just by being vulnerable and asking has led us to where we are today. And so that's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be a huge thing you do. Follow your hearts. Lean in, gaze in to know how to show up out here. And it will blow you away to see what we can do as humans when we do that.
That's right.
Yes.
All right, Brandon, Casey.
Well said.
Well done, guys.
Yeah,
So
very
good.
well done. One of our most exciting events of the year is right now. We hope that everyone has saved up a little bit of money so that you can make an investment. It's about $6,000 per wish.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Right.
the pandemic has changed things. So 6 to 10, but we have, to Meredith's point about that ripple effect, just so y'all know, since having that conversation with that mom, we've donated well over $1 million to Make-A-Wish. And that's corporate and agent donations because of these events that we have had since talking to her. And that's, I mean, you do the math, I don't know, what is it, 165, 180 wishes? It's a lot. And when our name, when our logo, our Quility logo, it's right next to Chick-fil-A, Wells Fargo, big companies, just little old Quility is there next to big companies, the impact that we have made for this organization.
Yeah. So
Whit,
yeah.
thank you so much. This takes a lot of skill with Meredith, Doug, everyone that's played a part in this, Lacey, all of you guys behind the scenes. I really shouldn't have started naming names because I know so many people have worked on this.
There's a lot we have.
But it takes a lot of energy and it takes a lot of skill and it takes a lot of heart. Whit to get something like this off the ground and organized and to the state it is in today. And I know it's just the beginning of it all. So just
I am going to say one name. I'm going to say this to Brooke.
Yes.
Yes. Great writing. Yep. Love all of that. So are we ready to jump over? I would just say, let's lean into our abundant hearts, our abundant mindsets versus our scarcity mindset. You know, that's what it takes when you get into a world of giving back like this, and you start to realize it's all a flow. You know, we just got to kind of have that abundant mindset and know that you put it out in the universe and it comes back to you. So very excited about this event. Do we have a goal yet? Do we set it on the
We need to raise $100,000.
well, at least, right?
Well, yeah, at least
Just saying.
we've done we do anywhere from 215 to 260 on this event. So, I mean, you know,
See.
But
See where we
listen,
go
tell
today.
them, this is, you're gonna have to get off this.
Yes.
and Get on.
get off the Zoom.
Get off the Zoom and then get
Get
on
on to event.
happening now.
Happening now.
Best thing you can do for your brain and your heart is make an
Yep.
impact into others, especially into a stranger. So let's go do it. Let's show up.
Do it.
Good guys.
go.
Thank y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In a second.
Thanks, guys.